going on this Wednesday.
Hey Scott, thank you for the intro. Brad, how's your audio, my friend?
Probably not as good as yours. You sound very clear.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday Q&A hosted by, I would say, Brad, two of the most handsomest fintech executives in the world of fintech.
Well, that's too kind. Thank you, Dan.
It's amazing the level of handsome you guys are getting. But all joking aside, what you're going to hear today is the most important webinar you have ever participated in. The advice I'm going to give you is something you should take pictures of, take notes. This is life transformative Tony Robbins type stuff, but I'm better than Tony Robbins. Sorry, Brett, I had to say it. And I only know that because he hangs out on Fiji Island, which is a totally different story, Brad. Okay? All right.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
You guys ready to rock and roll? Mike, love seeing you here. You know, it's been a while since I've been at the Q&A. I was just traveling the world of California in Lake Tahoe, which is like the Lake Como of California and Nevada. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. But we're here to talk, to get philosophical and to get you guys the most incredible, life transformative financial experience you've ever had. And that's what this webinar and presentation are all about. It's going to be shorter than you think because it's going to get right to the point and there's not going to be any effing around. Of course, none of the incredible information that should be written down in detail and read after the Q&A webinar that I'm providing is any kind of investment advice. Brad, it's for educational and informational purposes only.
And maybe even entertainment purposes.
Possibly a small amount of entertainment. But honestly, you guys tell me at the end, okay? Because we're going to get to the crux of the matter here. I mean, it's okay. You can get a transformative experience through humor, but incredible stuff. As we mentioned before, you guys already know this. I don't know why I have this slide. This is a Patriot-run business, made in the USA. If we were going to do any outsourced development, it would be at the casinos with our local Native Americans, Indian insourcing. There are some people who say that what I'm saying right now can't even be said at corporate presentations. But Brad, humor is above all of that. You know that.
I am laughing.
You are, and crying at the same time, I know. We are just very proud. We are very proud of the work that we've done. We've been doing it for 20 years, and we have now come to an inflection point in trade ideas. You guys, we're about to release the Kraken. Okay? We're going to transform fintech. But you guys have been hearing it first, and very seldom or infrequently can you get to hear stuff that then happens and then the guy says, told you so. All right, let's go. Okay. I want to spend some time on this slide. First of all, can everybody see this slide? I need some, Q&A answers. Keep going. Surely Mary's not the only one. I know Bill can see it. He's got eagle eye vision. And David and Mike, I know also can see it, but there's so many of you, and I want to make sure that you guys understand what it is that you are seeing here. Can somebody, other than the yes, and Brad, I love seeing the yeses, honestly, it gives me like a little dopamine rush, but can somebody type what they think they're seeing? I'm just chilling here. Brad's like sitting there, maybe shaking his head, maybe crying, I don't know. These are all things that we do during Q&A. Mike, no one-worders. What do you guys think? Yes, Mary. Okay, and Mitchell gets it too, also. It's not just daily, it's monthly. So I'm giving you two numbers. This is my daily P&L today. Correct, James. I want to explain to you guys why it is that I'm showing this to you because it's so critical. We're not doing this for the money. If you try to do this for the money, you guys all know what I would say. Get the hell out of here. You have to love what it is that you do, and what we do it for is the freedom, financial security, and ability to move financial assets in this world of ours is a form of freedom. It's not the only freedom, but it is a form of freedom because it allows you more control to time. So many of you in fintech have been led the wrong path, meaning no one has really taught you, well, if you really wanted to be good at it, what would you be doing? Lots of people, for some reason, are led to the path of the guru. You know what? I got to get in this chat room. Some guy's going to call out some shots. And you know what? I'm going to see what he's doing. I'm going to follow him. And that's how I'm going to make money. Forget about it. Okay? Forget about it. Brad and I were discussing this yesterday. No person you meet on the internet you will ever be like. Trading is a solo experience. Listen to me carefully here, ladies and gentlemen. Trading, when you're actually in the act of, is like surfing and golf. By the way, golf can be played as a team sport. Brad, what is a team competition in golf? Give me a name.
Ryder Cup.
Correct. But who is playing and the scores? It's all individual level. Okay. When you are performing on the golf course or when you are on your board, on a surfboard, it doesn't matter what the 15-year-old California blonde-haired dude's going to do next to you. Yeah, he's going to rip it. And you think because you're wearing the same bathing suit, you're going to rip it too? I got news for you. That's not what's going to happen. So I'm shedding some important information here to explain to you that number one, when you are dealing with trade ideas, you are dealing with people that are excellent in the thing that they vend. I'm not simply an executive. I am also the NASCAR driver. Like I am the guy that's test driving the new engine, the new brakes, the new tires. Why? Because I'm a pretty good driver. Okay. But the truth is, and Brad will tell you, Brad, in this particular scenario where you know what I'm doing here, this is a Schwab 401k, a self-directed 401k, which means that Schwab can do it and I can do it on Schwab. You guys can do this too. Not that that's the only way to do it, but I'm just saying for tax purposes, it's quite the thing to do. But Brad, am I super active in this one?
Not really. You're active, but you're not a day trader by any means.
By
You know.
any means, no. So what I'm saying is to achieve the things that I'm showing you here, the 310,000 gain this month, you have to have some tactics that are different from everybody else. And I want to demonstrate those tactics to you. And I want to show you that it's possible because the people that create the product, Dusty, yeah, the point is to get you to be able to do what I'm doing here. If you do better, then that's all good. Still, the point is for everyone else, you have to have a game plan. This is what we're showing you right here. Okay, many of you are already subscribers, so I'm not trying to pitch you. And if you're not, you're going to see why you will be one. Okay, that's my point. The Q&A here is not a pitch. It's telling you. Bye, Dusty. Me. Okay. How did I get to the point where I was able to put on the type of trades I put on? Okay. That's what I'm trying to get you. I showed you the results and I'm going to show you the path to those results. Repetition via simulation. I spend an immense amount of time being able to practice things that possibly I wouldn't really do even. Like for example, in this case, I can practice shorting a stock like HKD when it was at $426. Can be up 13 points, only a few seconds. But this is something I wouldn't necessarily try in my real trading account, but here I'm getting a feel for things. I practice way more than you guys. That's the way you succeed. And we're telling you that our brokerage plus environment is connected to all aspects of the idea generation where you need to execute this plan, okay? The other place, of course, is our AI, which is not only giving you incredible opportunities, like look at SoFi today, okay? And GMDA, all these are happening in real time. These are the heads up alerts in our premium service. They're the ones that are helping you to plan a trade and showing you what would a computer do. In other words, again, you can follow like a poker bot or a blackjack bot, which attempts to not make any mistakes by emotions. All of the decisions here are mathematical, and they teach you a process. Always play with risk controls. That is how I got to this, okay? Risk controls. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna minimize this, and I'm gonna show you the latest release that we're coming out with and why it's so important to you. So in this particular case, you're watching the post-market movers, and there's not too much going on in the post-market, but unlike before, notice you can compare the bigger movers like BRSH, okay? I can adjust this however I need to. Always zoom in and out on all the information. And see what is the real percentage relative strength compared to the things that the media and all of your friends tell you should be watching. Yes, Apple was up 5 points today, but on a $165 stock, you know, you're going to be limited to what you can do in terms of moving your assets. So the idea is to become more efficient and to be able to see things better than your competitors. This is the data display that we are showcasing. Number one, notice the logos are coming in now, okay? So you can see the stock, the last price, how much it's up or down from the close, and this race is in terms of momentum, relative strength, and you're always seeing the hooks. What about Tesla? What's it doing? Okay, not that much after hours. So this is the way that we help people see information more clearly and quickly. And of course, you are on the after hours channel bar, and if I turn to something like explosive winners, do that in 1 second. You are now going to see something else that we're providing, which is the replay mode. Okay, the replay mode is now starting at 6:30 when the market opens, and it is showing you how this whole stack of relative winners performed today and who stood out the most. So you can quickly get a sense. Okay, this is Robinhood was up there, TUP, Tupperware ran up to 12 before coming back down. But this is where this is called price discovery. All of these stocks are things that you should be highlighting that you're going to track and get into possibly because they have the most momentum. You're not going to miss anything on this list. Everything good comes through here. Again, impossible to miss. Notice these moves. You can, of course, then once again, the process, add a heart to it. And since I just installed this, I have not even set up my, again, this is the brand new version, and I've not set up my buy and sell buttons, but you would click the buy button, place it on wherever on the chart that you want, and it would show you a blue line with your stop loss. But here, KPSN, okay, at 570, you're seeing some of these moves, 504, sorry. And it ran all the way up to 7 today. Look at the percentage movers. Compare this, once again, to what I was showing you in terms of your attention and Apple, NVIDIA, and mind you, they had decent days, but come on, 1% compared to this. This is how I was able to identify the kind of things that led my 401k to run up 20% and be up over $300,000 in a month. It's through this price discovery and then creating the buys and sells and practicing for days and days where I'm seeing, how does this work? Do they pull back a lot? Do they keep going? When do they pull back? When do they keep going? Taking mental notes, but practicing through Brokerage Plus in simulation mode from here. This is the path. And what I was saying before, guys and ladies, is that it is our hope that anybody who is paying a subscription for a product like Trade Ideas, or I mean, then we have other competitors in the business, but ask yourself, do the vendors actually really use their product, or are they focus group only? And you can, I guess, do okay in the focus group side, but there's a difference when somebody that you're working with does the exact same thing you wish to aspire to do. That was the first slide of the presentation. It's the aspirational group, right? If you want to do it, again, today, I was up $38,319 for the month of $38,000 in one day. That sounds pretty good to me. But I was able to do that through an immense amount of practice in simulation, watching this new tech. Now, this new tech has been around, Brad. I mean, we released the first versions of these with cars, I mean, I think in October, right?
Yeah, a little bit after that. I think December is when we put it in the public's hands, but it's kind of morphed quite a bit since then, for sure.
Right, but it hasn't been out this much, but it's already made gigantic, like kind of like life-changing results for people who understand what this is. Brad and I have had so many guys come up to us, people who have been in the business for decades. Okay, and by the way, this is one of the things that I do. Okay, so HSCS, so I bought it here. Okay, it ran all the way up, and I bought some more right here. Kind of, you know, your normal bait, what I would call basic, Brad, blackjack strategy. You know, you have
Yeah,
a
I
possibility.
think your screen stopped updating because I'm still looking at KSPN on there.
Let me see once. Did it really? How about now?
Yeah, still KSPN.
All right, hold on. Let me stop that. What about now?
Let me make myself the presenter here.
Yeah. Make yourself the presenter. Brad, it's okay to talk about this too. Doesn't have to be just me.
Well, we don't want them looking at a dead screen anyway. So I don't know
Correct.
where you were, but here we're looking at my AI channel here. This
Well,
was the
but Brad, put it on the, I was looking at the Explosive Winners channel and just explaining that this channel was designed to be the attention that you need to focus on. You're going to see every name. It had the HKD on it when it was running. All the good stocks are going to be on that one. I still don't see your screen yet, by the way, but
oh,
I don't know if it's me or anyone else.
yeah. Let's go back to the audience here. Do you see my screen, guys? Yeah. Okay. So you must have an internet problem, no big guy.
Okay, sorry about that, Brad. Then keep running if I'm sort of like cutting out and stuff.
Yeah, no worries. So, we're looking, like Dan said, we're looking at the Explosive Winners channel, and we've got this set up in the race mode here, so where we have it after hours, and you can set it up at a certain time, but I think the Explosive Winners channel, an hour after the close, it goes into replay mode. And this is, like Dan was saying, something that you can do this type of research at the end of the day, and you can go to these different channels where we have these different race themes, and you can take a look at the participants that were winning and doing good throughout the day, or certain parts of the day, bringing that stock to your attention, bringing it up into your window here, and then deciding if you want to go ahead and put an order out there for the next day to simulate it, or even put a price alert, which is what I like to do, just so that it's always at the top of your mind. So here's a stock that had a great run today, a huge move. Tomorrow, I don't want to be left out. I want to, if this thing continues to run, I want to at least be aware of it so that I can decide if I want to get in it. I'll put a price alert above it. It's going to be right here. And then if it comes back to this moving average, maybe depending on every other thing that's happening in the market, it may be something I want to bid into or buy it at that point. So because this is an interesting stock to me, I'm setting up this bookended price alert so that there's no way that this stock is going to make a significant move in either direction without me knowing about it. So I've essentially just bookmarked it. And then what you can do is I could move it around if I wanted to. Now, if I do something like this, there's no doubt that I'm going to get that event tomorrow. I'm going to see something happen. But, I want it to be doing something. I want to be more confident down here. And then if it's up here, I need to see what's the market doing, what kind of volume's happening. That's just kind of the thought process that's going through my mind as it's running through this replay here. I can click on another symbol, see what that's doing. I can take a look at this replay, and at 8:50, by the way, we're bringing in some great chart enhancements to this. So when you click on a historical replay here, you're going to see exactly where that candle is on the chart. So you'll know exactly what time frame this is occurring. Right here, it's 9 o'clock, and it's continuing to run through this the entire day in a 6.5 minute period of time. So from 6:30 in the morning, West Coast open, till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to get this all done in 6.5 minutes, and I can see the flow throughout the day. So it's not just the stocks that are done great for the day, but it's how they're moving kind of in that historical semi-real-time mode. And so we've got all these different channels, these curated themes. Most of these channels all do have a race attached to them, but they all have some consistent themes. A multi-strategy window, it's got our single stock window that has multiple panels for you to get your news, your single stock detail, as well as what's a similar stock, both in price action, which is what we're looking at here. But if I right click, I could also look at my competitors, and that's taking a look at the stocks in the same industry group and bringing those to this window here, and I can peruse them, click on it, see how one of those competitors doing. This is the one that was set at price action, so it's finding me that same type of explosive price action. A lot of different channels on here. Depends, what's the theme of the day. A lot of times if the marijuana stocks really start running, or a couple of them start running or make the news, then a whole slew of them will do that, and you can find these wonderful sympathy plays through these different channels right here. And so everything that I'm looking at has something to do with what we call the weed channel. And we get a little bit deep sometimes. Yep, I hear you.
Okay, no, keep going. I just want to make sure my audio had come back.
Yeah, we heard you the whole time. It's just your desktop stopped displaying.
Yeah, keep going.
Another great channel here is this price and volume racing. And what this allows us to do is kind of highlight the racing in a little bit of a different way. So we've got the traditional racing up here at the top, which is looking at price action. So what it's looking at, as soon as I turn this channel on, it's now starting right at this moment in time. All these stocks here are winners. These have all done very, very good for the day. But as a trader, I want to know what's happening right now. How can I make money right now? Where's the momentum? And this is going to bring that right to the top of my window. I'm going to be able to click on it, see exactly what's happening in the chart. And we've got a real-time runner right now. I mean, this is happening after hours. It moved up from $1.58. It's at $4. I mean, these are huge percentage moves. And, through the races is just a phenomenal way to be able to discover these different stocks.
Brad, I loved how you just showed that in real time, because again, you just cannot replace what you guys all were watching. And also, do me a favor, Brad. I mean, again, as XCUR is just putting on a show, 21% in this move since you guys have been watching. But Brad, scroll down a little bit. And why do we constantly see Apple and some of the other stocks? I think it's very important for people to know.
Yeah, so this is a good little endeavor that we put in here. On a lot of these different channels, a lot of these pre-configured races, we've added some symbols that everybody's familiar with. Everybody's familiar with Tesla. It's been a rocket ship. This thing has made a tremendous amount of money over the last couple years. Apple, another rocket ship. So these are very, very strong stocks. But what I guess it's really interesting when you see how they're comparing to the stocks that are actually in motion right now. And what you're gonna find is you're gonna always, for the most part, not always, but you're gonna find these stocks that are gonna always be at the bottom of this list right here. They're not the ones that are moving 47% in a 2-minute period of time. That's unreal kind of motion. But one thing that I can do that illustrates how the race really does bring these ideas to your top of your mind. Let me open up a top list, and this is really the data that's being used to generate this stock race right here. And what I've got is I've got a list of stocks that are all doing great. I mean, these are all winners today. These are all giant movers. You know, looking at the change from the open, I could bring in the change from the close, but they're all going to be just huge movers today. But how do you find this X curve in this list right here of very, very big movers? It's kind of hard to find it. And the race really does allow these, the cream to rise to the top, if you will. So that's,
Well, Brad, also notice like LEJU. It's the fifth one down for you, I think, on the top list,
yeah.
right? But see, it's making a move right now relative XCUR. That's the advantage we're trying to demonstrate.
I mean, that's a huge move right there.
Yeah, so pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
moved from $2, or a little higher actually, $3 to 388.
So, but let's go back to XCUR and LEJU. Notice that clearly you were able to see these two. Okay, all you have to do is look at the top two. I mean, the best part is you can sort of start feeling it out, like click on CLFT maybe, Brad, just to kind of see, you know, the very last one. You know, it's sort of sitting there, and again, the price is different, but the point that we're making is notice the focus. The reason that I spent so much time on that portfolio was not to brag. I'm stoked I did well, but it was really to get you to understand that there is a process here. I'm going to find the XCUR and LEJU before everyone else because I'm using this tech. How I trade
Dan,
them.
before I lose my train of thought, one of the reasons why I came to this channel is because I wanted to, before X curve kind of came to our top of mind, I wanted to kind of point out this increasing relative volume stock race. Like normally we have this price action, but this now is looking at volume, relative volume in particular. And since we started the race, we started both of these at the same time. You can see they have the same amount left. They're both 10-minute races. That this stock right here put on a full 1.5 points of relative volume. Both of these have. Relative volume is really a ratio that we keep specific to every stock on every time frame. So we know what kind of volume a stock is doing at any point in the day compared to normal. So this guy right here is doing 2 times its normal volume. You know, but if I bring up something like this MOTS right here, it's doing 95 times volume. Look at these volume bars here. And what it's telling you is that there's just tremendous volume that's being brought into this stock right here. And if you have a real bullish activity, that volume is a real catalyst to continued motion.
Brad, do us a favor and heart that to show people again that once you add this and both XCUR2, you don't even, this is the low level stuff. Now, Brad's actually all set up and I hadn't done it for our presentation, but Brad, why don't you put a buy order at 3 on XCUR and a pullback? You know, there's so many different ways to do it, and we clearly don't know. Is XCUR going to continue running or not?
By the way, before you even cancel it.
By the way, Brad, when I see the daily, and I'm just speaking freestyle, right? When I see the daily, I actually see no problem buying it anyway. Because if you're looking at, right, I mean, you're looking for the move above 440 when it can try to get after 10. That's the fun part, okay? And do me a favor, Brad. Type in HKD in the single stock window.
900? Where are we?
I don't know.
1,000.
Okay, so listen, guys. I mean, and this is a completely strange animal, and I'm not saying that this is easy by any means, but this is what you chase. You know, this is the Laird Hamilton, right? The big wave rider. These are the big waves. This is possible in the stock market. Okay, you're talking about a stock that went from 13 to 2,300. And Brad, I'm guessing because I wasn't in it, it continued to go, you know, day after day after. You know, if I would have gotten in at like 300, it would have slowed down a little bit.
Of course.
Because they know.
That's the law of the universe.
That's right. That's why I didn't want to hurt other traders. So I did a nice thing again. But my point is, we were all over this. This is a move that is hard to fathom in terms of size. Think on this. There's nothing that would have prevented you from being in it if you were brave enough. 100 shares, 50 shares, 1,000 shares, 13, no problem. You could have made $2 million, Brad, in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 days. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I
But,
mean,
to be honest, you could also, if not played the right way without any skill and savviness, you could also be taking a big loss doing something here.
absolutely. Absolutely. But we're just showing you that the stock market's where you want to be. This is the thing that you want to experience. Okay. And we have a way for you to experience it. We're just saying that there's nothing in the vendor world, and we watch our competition carefully, that's going to show you these stocks before we do and give you the methods by which to execute a game plan. That's what we are saying here. This is how big this release that we're doing here right now. It's all about what Brad's doing. Brad can pull up XELA. Okay, look at this chart. Do you see the move, Brad? Put in a buy order right here. And I'm saying this because I'm like freely speaking of what I would be doing. And Brad, oh, he's filled. Okay, Brad, why is it you think that I said it's okay?
Well, I think you're looking at the daily here, right? And looking at the
Exactly.
daily, we've got tremendous upside based on history. That doesn't mean that this is like a golden goose opportunity.
No.
Chances are this is something that will continue to falter, but risk management, really critical. And this is the type of volume action you want to see itself pull its way out of the gutter.
By the way, holy moly, guys, what Brad's showing this EXELA, I mean, this is the textbook turnaround type of thing that you want to try to spot. If you're a trader like myself, Brad, you tell our AI to make this the trade of the week, maybe if it keeps going. You know, the Spanish one, Brad.
The
Uh,
Spanish ad.
the Spanish AI, yes.
So this is
Uh,
an interesting, another thing to point out is when I put that order from my chart right here, I've got it pre-configured and pre-set up to automatically put my stop at the low of the day. And that's why it put in the stop right here. And I can move it, of course, and it's letting me know based on my order size. And I think my order size is set up to $5,000. Let's see real quick while I look at it. Yeah, $5,000 worth of stock for that order. So um, if it happened to hit my stop right here, I'm going to be losing $1,500. So that's something I need to be well aware of. I need to be sized appropriately. I did decide to get in after a parabolic move where it's really far away from its moving average. So even though on the daily it can move up and it can move up pretty significantly, it's still very, very possible in the short term that it got overextended and it's going to want to come back. So I can see here, this is what happens when my price alert gets triggered. If I don't have a price alert in my channel or in my dock, then a price alert window will pop up. I can then click on it and I can see exactly what happened, what transpired. Well, this is the price alert signal that I had previously set. It crossed the threshold, so it turned green and it gave me that alert. That's
Brad,
just one way that we can be
when
notified.
did you set this? Could you tell me, please?
I set this. Sure, I could tell you. I'd need to bring in another column.
That's fine.
It's been a long time.
I know.
Let's
I
see.
can't believe I asked the
I
tricky
can't
question.
believe you made me do this, but all right.
What?
Um,
Can you tell me the name of it at least?
yeah, well, that's the thing. If I knew the name, I hate you. I
Alert
don't know.
price?
I think it's there, but I'm not going to spend much more time looking for it.
Sorry, guys. But the point is, Brad had put this in a while ago. He's watching these types of stocks. Brad, I'm making up for putting you through the ringer. And he's watching them because uh, he's using the same methodology that I'm using. That's why some of these ones are in there. Maybe if you edit alert, you could see when you created it. Is that how it's done?
um, uh, I could maybe do that. No, it just tells me when the expiration was there. So no, that's just the end of the day for today. I don't know.
We'll
I'll have
figure
to
it out.
come
Of
back to
course,
that.
only I can do that, guys. By the way, that's a professional maneuver right there. You can't do that to your business partner and buddy without planning months and months ahead, Brad. I knew
We did
exactly the
not
thing
rehearse that, Dan.
I did, and I know the exact thing you didn't know. It took me 3 months to figure it out, and then I just gotcha, Brad. Okay, the point that I'm
So
making.
let's bring it full circle here with Brokerage Plus, right? So I bought this stock here on the chart. Well, actually, it wasn't this one. It was XELA. You can see where I bought it, that visual indicators there. The stock is trading down a little bit, and that 9 cents, 8 cents really equates to $208. So I'm keeping track of my real-time P&L. I'm also keeping track of a real-time equity curve, so I can see it's not going to be that interesting with the end of day that we're looking at. But if you're doing this midday, the beginning of the day, you're going to see how your portfolio balance is moving, throughout the day, and how market motion really affects the portfolio as a whole. And you can do all kinds of filtering. You could look at one account here, you could look at another account here. This happens to be 3 different accounts. I've got my simulated, my chart trading, and Robinhood all here. So you can slice and dice it any way that you want. Down here, I've got another account, I've got executions, and then I've got orders that I put out. And so these are the orders for today. And then the strategies allows you to really get very complex with this. If I wanted to automate a strategy, create an alert window, put the filters in there, maybe back test it, maybe optimize it. Once I've done that, I could drop that strategy right in here and automate it, because I've got the confidence through that back test to know that it's something that'll most likely work out. Obviously, there's never any guarantee, but looking at a historical account, it's something that looks favorable and beneficial. So you can use this part here to automate it, and then you do need to be a premium subscriber to automate. While everybody can use Brokerage Plus in simulation mode, automation is for premium. And that automation also follows true with the Holly AI. So you can take the Holly strategies, and as a premium subscriber, you could automate those as well. And if you wanted to just simulate that, you could automate it either live or throw it into a simulated account, so you can keep track of that profitability on a daily basis. Very similar to what you're doing if you were to go to the Holly channel here as well.
Brad, it's a full simulation and real life trading environment. And what I'm just also saying is that, just like myself, Brad repeats the same process of simulated practice over and over. What Brad's talking about in the back testing, it is, Brad, back testing will get you going by trying to giving you some sort of feel, but really you've got to simulate yourself through emotionally experiencing the P&L in real time to catch a feel. That's what I'm really trying to say. And we are your best technology in the whole world for that. Even guys that are live, if you're like, for example, I trade real money all the time in my 401k. I'm practicing the heck out of this in Brokerage Plus in simulated mode. That's how I knew, because I actually was playing around with shorting. The simulated doesn't really care if there's borrows or not, because that's not what this is about. That's like the technicality. But you want to see, like, do you want to try to catch these types of tops? So I learned, Brad, what did I learn? Do not try to catch.
It could be painful.
It can be very painful. And even in simulated trading mode, I did not like experiencing the pseudo emotional pain of being short some HKD and realizing what a lesson that I learned. I mean, we saw that.
You were up 30 grand at one point on that trade, right? And so it's just such a volatile experience that you have to be very mindful of your position size and what you're going to be doing overnight with something like that, because the gap ups or gap downs could be treacherous.
But the lesson was learned without risking any capital. That's what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, please approach this the right way. Practice.
Yeah, better to hurt your ego than your pocketbook.
It is, you should be like practicing 5 to 10 times what you are trading. For example, think about a professional golfer and how much time he spends on the driving range. And by the way, Brad, guess what? Those guys already know how to drive the ball. Yet for some reason, they're at the range more than you and I, which is totally a different also story that I'm upset about. But you know what I'm saying, right?
I do know what you're saying.
I mean, Henrik Stenson, does he practice more than Brad Williams?
Probably.
I would say quite a bit more, don't you think?
Probably, yes.
It's not a probably. Brad's being funny, but this is the key to success. We've created this completely immersive environment for you guys to be able to follow everything on the chart, trade from the chart. Very soon, chart-based P&L is coming. So every stock that you're in, you'll be able to see your position size, P&L. So you can really just be fully in the charts and in the race sphere. That's what we're distilling it down to. And It's going to be an incredible experience for you. Can you see yourself trying it this way? How about some yes or no's? You can say no, it's okay. Maybe my question is broken too. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Mary, Mike, this is the way. This is the Jedi way. Okay. You can only learn to control your emotions in the simulated environment in a responsible way. The other way, what the market does, and Brad and I have seen this story so many times, you start trading, you know what it'll do? It'll give you a good trade. Brad, you
Maybe
remember
two.
that? Oh, yeah. It'll be like, hey, this trading stuff's easy. Here, let me give you like a 15% winner. And oh my gosh, what? That is basically like getting the free crack. You know, I'm not gonna like this stuff. It's not really good. Then you're addicted. Okay, now
Then
without
your
knowing
life's
how to
ruined.
handle it, right? And you start expecting that that's what you're gonna do. Oh my goodness, it's the worst thing for you. That's why you have to rep those out in simulated mode. So, Brad, let's go back to the presentation and finish up. This is what we're saying. This version of the software is the most complete, like almost virtual reality based augmented reality trading environment you can have. We've shown it to you in real time. It's all on the chart. One of the ways that you can get more involved in it on the day-to-days through our trading room, trade-ideas.com/trading room. Barry Anderson, who needs to update this picture, right, Brad? But he was very skeptical at first of the race view, as most professionals who are good at what they do, they're like, I don't need anything else. And now Barry also swears by it, like many people are going to. You're at a trend first. Mitchell, you can trade this stuff with IBKR. So IBKR Interactive Brokers is one of our connected brokers already, and E-Trade as well. You can probably link our windows to DAS Trader Pro, Brad. I'm pretty sure you can, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it does link with DOS.
Yeah. So, and we've got a test drive coming up starts on August 15th. It's $11.11, goes for 2 weeks. It's an incredible experience. It's going to be one of our biggest test drives, and certainly in terms of functionality, it is going to be a game changer, because finally people will experience for the first time what we want you to see, which is that new view, what Brad's showing in the little art there. The race is the way to view market data, because it's like watching 30 charts at once, but really focusing on the top 3. Okay, and that's trade-ideas.com/test drive. We're a software as a service vendor. You know that our program costs money. It's very inexpensive, and this is just an example here of what it costs per day. But of course, we charge monthly. And if you are not yet a subscriber, you will be. Use this promo code FASTDATA, 15% off your first month or a year off of Trade Ideas.
Or upgrade.
Or upgrade, of course. You will need to also. Yep. Support. We have the most extensive educational support system out of any fintech vendor. It is up to you, of course, to join us. So go to trade-ideas.com/live and figure out when you can get any additional support aside. Like, I mean, you guys are already here, so that's part of it. We're showing you cool stuff, but additional information is available here, and our online help is incredible. YouTube channel, everything. Check it out and get everything you need, and of course, always available via email. But that's a whole other slide.
Wait, 2 trading rooms.
New trading rooms, Barry's back. And of course, I already said interactive brokers and E-Trade, yep. And this is finally where, if you need to, please shoot us an email at info@trade-ideas.com. You can call us and like us on all the social medias. We appreciate that. Take care, everyone, and please try this methodology. It is the way. Thank you. Scott, we're good.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, I think you covered everything. The recording will be available later on, and give an email reminder tomorrow about how to find it. Thanks all. Bye.